WWE Hall of Famer Mick Foley, and you are listening to the WNS podcast. Yeah.
You're listening to the official Wrestling News Source podcast. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com or check us out on Facebook by searching WrestlingNewsSource.com or WNS Podcast. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Stitcher, and iTunes by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast or WNS Podcast. Now being broadcast in over 45 different countries, here are your hosts, Daniel Herron, Tyler Abear, and Doug.
That's right. What's up, everyone? I am Daniel Herron.
I'm Tyler Abear.
I'm Doug.
And we welcome you to episode 297 of the official podcast for WrestlingNewsSource.com. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com. Check us out on Facebook, WrestlingNewsSource.com. You can find us on Facebook, WNS Podcast, on YouTube, WNS Video, and on iTunes, Wrestling News Source Podcast.
We're on Stitcher, Beyond Pod, and Player.fm, and also the Satchel.
Yeah.
Just search Wrestling News Source Podcast to find us. It's not the Satchel, it's Satchel.
Satchel.
Follow the podcast on Twitter at WNS Podcast. Follow Daniel at WNS_Daniel. Follow Tyler at Tyler_Abraham.
If you will. Welcome to the show. Got lots to talk about this week. Wake,
mate.
I know. We were talking about NXT going to Australia earlier.
Oh, were you?
Blake.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it just got embedded in my head. I don't know. That or I was just slurring my words. There's no telling. So, like I said, got a lot to talk about. Feedback, Raw, Hell in a Cell predictions, SmackDown, Hot Topics, all
Other
that.
things?
Huh?
Other things?
Other things, perhaps, yes. Coming up down the pike.
Speaking of other things, I know this is going to start a wrestling podcast off with
Wrestling podcast.
non-wrestling stuff.
Non-wrestling podcast.
So a lot of stuff dropped last week. What do you think of the Switch, Nintendo Switch?
I dig it. I'm curious as to more of the details about it. But
I don't know when they're going to do more details because
They're not talking about it. They said they're through talking about it for the year. So I don't
for
expect,
the year.
so I don't expect to hear. I mean, that's a few months.
Well, yeah, that's true. But also, if it
but then
comes
it
out
also
March,
drops in 3 months after that. So
Yeah.
I
I don't know. I'm super interested. I really am.
I'll wait for the reviews and all of the bugs and all of that to clear out
that
before I think about
the
investing.
graphics when you hook it up to the main screen is just. I mean, that is equal with the handheld part.
Sure.
You know, it doesn't drop in graphics.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
The handheld's like 720p is what the rumor is, so it's not gonna run like full HD.
Not full.
It's not gonna be like 1080. Like the screen will be 1080, but the screen is like 720.
If it's not
You're
like
gonna-
a big difference, you know what I mean?
It'll be
Like, if it's,
noticeable,
like,
but nothing.
but not like, oh, it's horrible.
Yeah. My eyes.
Also, I was pretty pumped for seeing the Skyrim on that thing.
Yeah, but you also have to take that with a grain of salt because I heard that Bethesda said that they look forward to working with Nintendo, but they didn't specify as to what titles they are going to be
They
doing.
wouldn't show that on the trailer if something wasn't going
They've done
down.
it before.
With what?
Well, games in the past, they've shown like third-party content as to say, hey, this is what it
That's
can
false
do.
advertisement. Then.
Every company kind of does it every once in a while.
I know
Nothing.
a lot of people pointed that out.
There are plenty of
What,
things that come
Skyrim
out
on that thing.
Yeah, Skyrim and also NBA 2K17 or something like that. People were already
We
expecting
know
that game to be on there.
Unreal Engine is.
They've come out and support it. Yeah. So I'm the first time I saw the video, I was impressed. I liked it. I dug the fact that you can turn one controller into two. I think that's a nice little feature.
A few transformations. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. I like that. I really
You mean the
did.
Joy-Con?
Yeah, I saw that.
Is that what it's called?
They're called Joy-Cons.
Wow. Okay. That's fine.
It's just really cool. I mean, okay. You can for a console to change to a handheld to change to what's the name where it's like okay, it's a straight
Multiplayer.
handheld and a multiplayer like where you have the kickstand in the back, take
Yeah.
a side controller, Joy-Cons, whatever, and then just separate controllers there, and that's just cool in itself, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That was a rumor for a long time. It was going to be that, and it was that. So,
And the fact that it's not going to be discs anymore.
cartridges.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with.
Similar to the Nintendo DS.
Yeah, which I'm fine with.
I love cartridges.
Yeah.
Don't have to worry about them getting scratched. They can fall in the dirt and nothing be fine.
There's also the rumor that to compensate for, they haven't confirmed touchscreen on the, we will call it a tablet for lack of a better term. They haven't confirmed it, but supposedly there is touchscreen on the tablet. And to compensate for something that is sort of like touchscreen capabilities when you have it docked to where you wouldn't actually be able to touch it, that one of those Joy-Cons is like an infrared, like a pointer thing.
Oh, that's cool.
Where you would like point at the screen. That's like a rumor. That's not like confirmed, obviously. I mean, touchscreen on the tablet isn't even confirmed, even though it's like speculated that it's in there.
I'm going to wait until it's been out for a while before I think about investing one. Maybe I'll ask for one for my birthday. Who knows? Because my birthday's in May. That's enough time to find out all the kinks. Because, I mean, look at the way like the Samsung Galaxy 7 or whatever is coming out.
The Note 7 that
all the stuff that's blowing up, and now the iPhone 7 is blowing up.
Oh, the iPhone is too?
Yeah, they're coming out saying, be cautious and all that.
It was a rumor. I thought it was like faulty batteries, huh?
I'm not too sure what it was, but it's the fact that it's happening, and I don't want something to go off while I'm holding it in my hand. So I'm going to wait for all of that to get out of the way before I think about investing. Because you kind of have to wonder, the battery that they put in that tablet, how it's going to handle, what kind of stress it's going to be able to put up with.
No telling.
I mean, what would you be happy with battery-wise? Battery life-wise? What do you think it should have?
Well, I don't know. I don't know anything about how batteries work or anything like that, but, you have to think, they would have to think longevity. At least it has to last 5 years, I would think.
I thought I was talking in the sense that how long do you
like battery life?
between charges.
Oh, geez. 8 hours at least.
Oh, geez. You're not getting 8 hours for sure.
Yeah. No, well, okay, I take that back.
6 hours is the dream, but I think that it's probably going to be about 4 hours is what you're going to get out of it.
Yeah, I think that'd be all right.
It's going to be way more powerful than the DS. The DS gets, at least, I think, like straight, maybe like, I could be wrong. I know people are going to say something
depending
different.
on if you use the 3D feature and all that.
I don't anymore, but it's like 3 or 4 hours maybe.
Mm-hmm. And I'm curious, will it have like an external cord available so that if you just wanted to play it on the tablet, but you didn't want to have it, you didn't want to set it down to recharge, could you do that? Like if I wanted to play on the tablet, but my battery is down to say 10%, could I sit on the couch, plug a charger into it, and play it that way?
I don't know.
So I'm gonna wait for all those questions to be answered.
I'm not a waiter. I'm a copper. Like I'm a
day one.
I'm
the same as him, man. I'm the same as him, man. I got excited
waiting in line at midnight and all that.
I mean, I don't I'm too old for all that shit. But I'm gonna mosey around to get it at launch. The only reason I would not get it at launch, because for one, I'm a Nintendo guy and I've always been, and I always want to play the first party Nintendo stuff. That's never going to change. That's just how it's always been. But the only reason I'm like not going to buy it at launch is if I'm just like really stupid with my money between now and then and I'm flat broke and I just couldn't afford it. What's the price point you think is acceptable?
I think it would be a little bit more expensive than the Wii U.
Yeah.
And what's the Wii U was?
I don't think it can be more expensive than the Wii U.
I'll
think
say
it would be
probably
competitive.
$399.
Ooh,
what was Wii U?
$300. Wii U is $350 at launch. Well,
because you have to think you're getting
$350 for the black one with the larger hard drive, and I think you get $300 for the one, whatever the lower.
I really do not want it to be $400, man.
I'd say
They can't be.
Well, I would just think that because you're getting the console, which is a tablet plus the controllers plus the charger plus the connection. I would just think that it would probably be around that.
They can't be competitive like at that price point. I think they have to be like at $300.
Need about $350.
Yeah. Well, I guess at the end or the beginning of next year we'll find out.
Yep.
Okay. One more non-wrestling topic and I'm done. Logan trailer.
Oh.
The drop.
Seems interesting.
I thought you were gonna say Red Red Dead.
Well, that too. I forgot. There's three things.
Yeah,
Red Dead
2.
Redemption. Was Red Dead Redemption that I played Red Dead Revolver.
Eat your heart out, Giant Bomb. We are now.
Yeah,
we're now a gaming podcast.
yeah, we are. Red Dead Redemption. There's not too much to the trailer. It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved Red Dead Revolver. Red Dead Redemption was awesome. Now the second one, I don't know what it's about.
I never played Red Dead Revolver.
It's been years. It was fun. Red Dead Redemption is better, but
Still haven't played that.
Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
It was
I know.
dang
I'm dropping,
good. And
dropping
even
the
the
ball.
DLC Undead Nightmare was still cool too. I was big into that, and same. I'm gonna buy it,
Yeah.
but not too much to the trailer. Just
Yeah, I'm gonna
there's
get.
just
I'm
a
gonna
little
see
beautifulfulness to it, and the nature.
it. Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
As far as the Logan trailer, I'm gonna go see it, but
I
don't
know
know.
that they're taking elements of Old Man Logan.
yeah,
They can't do everything because Old Man Logan, the comic, it had Hulk in there.
Mm-hmm.
They had they had Red Skull. They had Hawkeye, which they don't have rights to those characters.
right.
So is in the future. I don't know. This is an alternate timeline. I don't know because
That was the biggest question that I saw in the
Old Man
comment
Logan
section.
is an alternate timeline.
Okay.
The comic book.
Yeah. It's like, how is he old and Professor X is equally as old and all that crazy
I
stuff.
think Professor X looks worse.
Yeah.
than Logan.
It's like he's surpassed it.
And then the little girl, everyone's saying that's X-23. I don't know for sure. And I don't know who the bad guys are. But, I mean, I'm still going to see it. I mean, let's face it, all the X-Men movies were never as great as, like, the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
But I still love X-Men, and I saw all of them, even though the first Wolverine Origins sucked balls.
Yeah.
I'll still see it. And I heard this is his last Wolverine movie.
Mhm.
So no more Wolverine. So yeah, definitely. What do y'all think?
Yeah, it's X-23.
X-23?
Yeah.
So
Don't ask how I know.
I don't know if
Unless
this
you want.
movie, Charles Xavier dies, whatnot. So
Nice. Did you see the Red Band trailer?
I don't think so.
There's only one difference between the Red Band trailer and the general trailer that aired. Right at the end, in the general trailer, Logan puts his hands up with the claws, and there are other claws coming down at him. They take that one little scene out and replace it with him giving an uppercut to someone, and the claws go through his head.
Nice. Well, this is rated R movie, so
Yeah, that was the only difference in the
man,
in the two
that's the way to
trailers.
go out, man. Be like a little more gory, I guess.
I guess. Yeah,
You should read Old Man Logan. I have it. It's pretty good.
cool. Doug, what are your thoughts on Logan?
I'll see it.
Yeah, should be fun.
I mean, like I said, those things are never the best or whatever. Holy moly, I like that.
Straight through his
Where'd
head.
that guy get that piercing on top of his head?
Yeah.
Wait, let me say that again.
Okay. But yeah, looking forward to that.
Guess that's not bone, huh? That's adamantium. I can't say it.
Adamantium. Yes.
Adamantium.
Adamantium.
So
Millennium.
that's the all non wrestling stuff that dropped last week.
Yeah. We do have some stuff to get to, but let's talk about what's going to happen this weekend, aside from Hell in a Cell. Because for those of our listeners who are in the Texas area, more specifically in the Houston area, if you don't know by now, Lucha Underground coming to Houston. So that's going to be really cool. It's going to be this Sunday.
There's a good chance you don't know because
Yeah, they haven't really
We
advertised a
just
whole
found
lot.
out not too
By
long
chance.
ago. Yeah, by chance, really.
And so it's going to
So
be...
there's 3 places that they're doing in just in the U.S.
Yes. I think. Yes. One has already taken place.
What was that?
I don't know.
Arizona.
Arizona.
Houston is this weekend. And then there is one more, or there was one more.
San Diego, I think, is the last one.
San Diego.
What are the odds, Houston? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Well, Houston has a large Hispanic population.
Well, that's still cool,
So
man.
does Arizona. So does San Diego. That's why they've done it.
That's still cool as heck just to be part of it. Because I'm going to be honest, they don't really tour that much.
No.
They did
They'll make a couple appearances here and
They
there.
came
They've
to.
I
thought they came to Texas for something else one time. No?
That was Austin?
They did a festival once, but that's not. I wouldn't consider it a tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see Dario.
For some reason, I doubt that.
I don't think he's gonna make it.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome. But it's going to be Sunday, October 30th at the Traders Village on the outskirts of Houston.
I know one of the matches, because there's two shows. One at 12:30, one at 3. I know Cage is taking on Matanza. Drago is taking on Johnny Mundo. That's the only two matches I know of.
Nice. So we'll hopefully get to see those guys in action, tear the place down. And like I said, if you happen to be in the listening area of Houston, go to the show. Maybe you'll see Tyler and myself. Be a good time. Then we'll try and rush back to watch Hell in a Cell, which is going to take place also this Sunday evening. But we'll dive into that in just a little bit. But first, we have some feedback from Victor. Saying, always interesting to get your thoughts and feelings on stuff whenever you get derailed in a conversation, so no worries. But on the burnout subject, when I go through it, it's because I spend more time on something I like than I should and need a break. But I can't remember the last time I enjoyed watching WWE. So I'm not burnt out on the show, I just don't like it anymore. Only reason I have the network is because my family and friends always come over on pay-per-view nights for tradition. If not, I would have stopped a couple of years ago. The show is desperately lost and helpless in a battle between creator and fan. Each side wants to do what it wants without a care for the other. WWE shoves what they want down a fan's throat and refuses to tell stories, while fans try to control the show with annoying chants and only showing interest in their favorites and not giving every performer a fair chance. No one in the audience or company is happy because of this, and the show suffers for it every time. It's not about the characters achieving goals or winning titles. The crowd and the Fed only care about who's getting a push and who's not. There's no motivation for anyone anymore, and that's why I've chosen to only listen to you guys for the past several years, since y'all actually make it entertaining. Sorry for the super long post. Thanks again for everything, guys.
Yeah, I mean, thanks, Victor. That's sweet of you to still listen to our shitty podcast, even though you're not watching. I mean, I think it's interesting that he highlights the adversarial relationship between the WWE and the fans of the WWE.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that there is another thing out there that exists that has such an adversarial relationship between the art itself and the appreciators of the art. Can you think of something else that is as conflicting as it can be at times?
The only thing that really pops into mind is the NFL. Roger Goodell with the fans. They hate him because he changes a lot of rules.
Who's he?
He's the commissioner of the NFL. And so, I mean, he says his best interest is the protection of the players, but it's getting to the point where if you tap someone on the shoulder, they'll throw a penalty flag. That's an over an exaggeration, but it's getting to where the players are being so protected, it's like they can't play. So the crowd gets a little restless and people are starting to tune out. So.
I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very interesting point that Victor makes. I'm not exactly sure what the resolution to that could be. I feel like we're headed for a down period with so much business-wise, a down period. Even though I don't think we're necessarily in a peak period, I think we're, I don't know.
And it's sad because there's such an amazing amount of talent on the WWE roster right now. And it's I want to see all of these dudes succeed. I want them to become stars. But the fact is that they're not stars when they're at the point where WWE is at the point where they need stars.
Well, I think it's overexposure in general is the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, the first person who I've ever, funny enough, the first person who I ever heard make the argument of overexposure was Dean O'Brien talking about this generation is the first generation. In the past, it's you're always fighting to be on TV. You're always fighting to be seen. And this is the first generation who's had to fight being seen. Not they're trying not to be seen, but they're trying to come up with ways and do things to make themselves still appealing with the amount that they are seen, which no previous generation has ever had that problem like before this generation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very odd. There's not like a roadmap of what do they do to combat that, other than like less product out there, which is not something that's going to happen until the deals that are in place wrap up, and we still got a few more years of that at least, and that's considering they don't renew at those. But
God,
yeah,
I hope that contract comes to an end and they say, look, we're struggling. I know you guys I know we're your highest rated show, but we've got to do 2 hours instead of 3 on Raw.
I mean, I honestly feel like people would. I just think people would be so much more willing to put up with stuff that annoyed them if it wasn't like so demanding of their time.
It's like, would you like me to kick you in the nuts for 3 hours or 2? It's like, well, I'd take the 2, please.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's, like I did feel myself throughout Raw going, man, I am burnt out on the product. Like, I was just annoyed by so much that was happening, and I hated that feeling. Like, I wanted to be able to enjoy
You're where I was.
everything that was going on. Yeah. And it was just like, I want to enjoy it, but now I'm just kind of watching it just to watch it.
Well, Victor's making the point that burnout means he's defining burnout as you overconsume something that you like, but he's classifying this as he just doesn't like it anymore. Do you feel that? Do you feel you're burnout, or do you think I just don't like it?
I still like it. There's things that I'd like to see changed. I can't really put into words what it is. I don't know if I just want like better comment, like the cruiserweights. We'll start there. I had such high hopes because you take the Cruiserweight Classic, which was awesome, and then you toss it on Raw, and what is it now? It's a filler match, or it feels like it.
Yeah.
It's just, they could have done, there's so much that they could have done. I mean, like you said last week, SmackDown, for whatever reason, is just easier to watch. Not necessarily because it's an hour shorter, but there's just something about it. They're doing different things. They're trying different stuff. Every Raw kicks off the same way, have their same style, their same format. Like, I felt like the brand split was supposed to be a refresher. Like, this is our chance to fix all of the problems. Yeah. And the fact is that, no, they got a new stage. They moved the announcers, and that's about it. It slowly faded back into what it was.
Yeah.
And that bothers me.
I just feel like, there's parts of each show that are good,
Yeah, I mean, they both have their highs, they both have their lows. But SmackDown, by far, I'm enjoying more than Raw.
It's kind of weird how it reversed, huh?
Yeah. But, like, even SmackDown, like, Tuesdays, I usually get tied up with doing chores around the house or going to the grocery store or something like that. So I always end up DVRing SmackDown. I still fast forward through quite a bit. Some of the stuff where it's like, I don't really have a whole lot of interest in this, but I will watch more SmackDown. I end up looking at my phone most of the time during Raw. So it's kind of like, I don't know, just getting turned off by it. I'm not disliking it. It's just, I'm not.
What will turn you on?
Oh, no, yeah. I don't know. But, like, whenever you're... I know there are a lot of fans out there that are fans of the Golden Truth tag team, but I'm not digging it. I'm sorry. Shining Stars not doing it for me. The arm wrestling competition didn't do it for me. I get the story they were trying to tell, but no.
But the Shining Stars scammed Heath Slater.
Yeah, that was good. Did you see that on Talking Smack?
No.
Did you see that? He goes, well, I bought 5 stocks. It was
5 stocks.
5 stocks. And I gave them 5
stocks. I'll have 5 stocks, please.
5 crisp $100 bills. And Daniel Bryan's like, this is not even notarized. What is this? You can't even buy stock over there.
Just 5 pieces of paper
Well,
that
they
says
said-
one stock on
They
it.
said I could, though. I mean, I'm supposed to go over there and see what I like.
I'm pretty sure the terminology is shares of No. They said stock, but I'm saying that's part of the joke. He's like, I got 5 stocks. Like,
That was awesome.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's just when a list is the most over thing on Raw, you know you're doing something wrong.
Is that the most over thing?
I would think so.
I mean, Raw sort of revolved around it.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's
This Raw, yeah, it did.
It's sort of problematic how they will take something like that gets over that they weren't necessarily expecting to get over to that point and like
they'll
run
just
with it.
Ram it in your face.
But if like somebody gets over that they weren't expecting to get over, they will just fucking bury them. Despite
Yeah.
it's just weird how they operate.
Mm-hmm.
Like your stupid little joke gets over, get ready to not hear enough of that shit.
Sparkle crotch.
Yeah.
Well, that was only 1 week, right?
Well,
No,
I
it
think
continued this
I think
week.
Jericho got new tights where the his tights are different now, right? Like the actual crotch area is like more sparkly. I think he got new tights.
Wow.
Or
Feed into it.
I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, when Rollins came out with the list, he was like, oh yeah, here's Sparkle crotch and whatever. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Cass cheap shotting Anderson to get the win for Enzo. Like, does that send mixed signals? Bad or good guys? You know.
Well, I like this segment where they cut the mics and they did their thing anyway.
I love
was,
that.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Because the crowd was like so into
Mm-hmm.
it.
They're like, these are our guys.
I mean, I think that you would, if you're gonna argue, if I'm gonna play devil's advocate, I would say I wasn't crazy about it either, but if I was gonna play devil's advocate, I would say, well, Carl Anderson was like getting in his face like outside of the ring, and like why if you don't want to chump like Cass out by being just like letting dudes like get in his fucking face
Sure.
and not do anything about it. So I get it. I'm not crazy about like a babyface team going over in that fashion. But if I was going to play devil's advocate, that would be our argument.
That's fair.
Fair enough.
Yes. Sheamus and Cesaro defeat the New Day before their matchup at Hell in a Cell, just to prove that it can be done.
Sure.
Not really much from there.
Man, every time Sheamus comes out, man, that light, man, he's like so
They turn it ultra bright.
bright. He's like,
I wonder where they got those lights.
he's evolving.
I'm going to make my Christmas lights like that just to annoy my neighbors. I'll play the music too so that they'll have fair
What
warning.
pisses me off, those people who have the really white headlights on their cars.
Oh, God, yeah. The moonlights
Blinds
or whatever.
Blinds the fuck out of me. I just want to fucking like get out and like drag them out of their car and beat their head into the fucking light like repeatedly. So you see how
What do you
fucking
have,
bright that
Daniel?
shit is
What do
with
you
his
have? You
fucking
have
face?
you have the bright lights.
Speaking
You
of
have the
beating
bright lights?
heads, you guys watch The Walking Dead?
I did.
I do not, but I heard about the stuff.
Well, don't say any spoilers.
I'm not
in
going
case
to.
someone didn't see it.
A person dies. Yeah. Anyways. So, I appreciate the fact that, you know,
Did you just jump in there, or have you seen them all like up until that point?
I kind of just, like, I keep up through Facebook most of the time, and then there's always the people who post whatever.
Because I wonder how that someone who like is just jumping in would like it wouldn't be as affecting.
I watched the first few episodes of season 1, couldn't really get into it, but then everyone was talking about it. Everyone posted on Facebook. I saw the Glenn Teaser death where he fell off the garbage thing and all that, and it was like, but it turned out to be that other dude that died. So, you know, there are big moments that I've watched just because people are like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. And I'll go and watch it. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool. But, you know, didn't have the full context. But yeah, I ended up watching this episode just because Kelsey, she binge watched it over the course of like a week. So she went from episode 1, season 1 to current. Which, by the way, we were going to do that together. And I came in from work one day And
She was 3 seasons in.
Yes. I was
shit.
like, what the hell?
You got
That's the
left.
second time she's done that to me. She did
You got
Orange is
left
the New
behind.
Black. Yes. Orange is the New Black was the
No
other
Man
one.
Left Behind.
We were like, oh, let's totally watch this show together.
Out of
and I
respect
come home.
for you, she could have lied and then just
She could've.
and just rewatched them with you like it never happened.
Well, no. I walked in, and it would be like if someone had walked in catching you watching porn or something. It was that deer in the headlights, like, hey,
What is this on my
what's up?
TV?
And I'm like, what you watching? Nothing. I'm like,
Porn?
what are you? You're on Netflix, aren't you? She was like, what? I was like, what are you? You're watching Orange is the New Black, aren't you? She was like,
Maybe.
yeah, I'm watching. I'm like, what episode are you on? She's like, oh, I'm on episode 2. I'm like, oh, okay, that's not bad. Season 2. What?
Damn.
And then it was the same for Walking Dead. Because we were like, on Sunday we had talked about it, and, you know, I watched Raw that Monday night. Tuesday night we recorded the podcast. Wednesday night I come home, and, you know, she gets on her laptop, puts her headphones in. I'm like, hey, what are you watching? She's like, Walking Dead. I'm like, what? Walking Dead? And I'm like, where are you? Season 2, episode 7. I'm like, you've done it again. So, I wait. Why don't people wait?
How is that? I really want to see that Westworld. That was
It's good. It's good. You can come over and watch it one day. I've got it on my DVR.
I'm just bummed that it's not on
It's good.
the Hulu. The Hulu.
It's good. So back to Raw. What did y'all think about the Rusev and Roman video packages?
I thought they were fine. I don't know, like I don't know. I don't know how I feel about none of the cell matches particularly feel like cell-worthy matches.
They're not.
And I don't like how Foley like tried to talk like the women out. It felt like he was trying to talk them out of having a cell match. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you're the one who gave them the fucking match. If you didn't want them to have the match, you shouldn't have given them the match.
You have the power to take the match away.
Yeah, and also it does feel a little sexist because it's not like he wasn't talking to the other two matches about how like they shouldn't be having the matches. He's just like, okay, well they can have cell matches, it's fine. They understand the I don't know. It just felt like he was sort of like talking down to them, and like it feels like a bunch of steps back from this whole women's revolution thing. And it's weird how like he went out and said it was going to main event, and then they are like, oh, we don't know if we were going to for sure main event them, and now it's this whole weird thing about like, oh, now we've got 3 main events, and it's a triple
main event.
Yay!
And
What?
it just felt weird, like that he. I get that they're trying to like hype up that it's going to be like a historical match or whatever, but the way that he did it was a little bit condescending, and the way that he did it takes away from the whole women's revolution thing, and that we're pushing this women's thing forward. It felt like steps back and steps away from the goal.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. I thought it was a swing and a miss.
Yeah. I mean, the way that matches like this were handled in NXT were so much better done. You know, like whenever they made the announcement of the Iron Man matchup between Sasha and Bayley, they were like, you guys are getting this match because y'all fucking earned it. Like, y'all deserve the main event spot after the match y'all put on.
Well, that's what he did initially, but then when they decided...
He's like, well, hang on a second.
When they like balked at like if they were actually going to do it or not, they had to like rewind and step away from it. And it just lessons like you already said it. Fucking go for it. Mm-hmm. It feels like the most important angle on the show at this point, anyway.
Yeah, and again, it goes to the thing where it's like, could they build towards a Hell in a Cell match between Sasha and Charlotte? Absolutely. These two ladies, you know the history. If you followed NXT, you know what they're doing in WWE. It could absolutely build towards a Hell in a Cell match. However, the build for this match, not as great. And it goes back to kind of what we were talking about. I think we were talking about it last week, where it's like they're having these matches just because it's on the calendar. Not because there's any build up for it. There's no need for it. You know, like they could easily have a cage match, and they're having these matches just because. the cage needs to be a part of the story, you know. Which Mick, I get, he was trying to get that point across, where he's like, you know, there's more than two competitors in that ring. There's you, your opponent, and the cell.
Yeah.
But you know, whatever.
It just felt kind of condescending to the women, because why is he not saying that shit to everyone else? The two other main events and the two other Hell in a Cell matches.
Well, in that one aspect, Roman did say, "Hey, have you ever been in a Hell in a Cell?" I have. Or was that Rollins? Either way, Rollins and Reigns have both been inside Hell in a Cell, so they get the, "Oh, I've been in there. I know what it's like. You don't," you know, spiel. Whereas, you know, Sasha and Charlotte neither have been. They're making history to trying to make it bigger and all that.
Bigger, better.
Bigger, badder, better. Better than ever.
I mean, even in strictly kayfabe terms, he made the match, so why is he trying to fucking talk him out of it? Like,
I think in their perspective, Sasha and Charlotte thought, "Oh yeah, we're just gonna have this match inside Hell in a Cell," and he's like, "No, there's more to it. Like, it's not just a match inside of a cell." I think that's what it was trying to do. He was like, "Know the risks that you're taking whenever you go in there. Don't take it lightly."
feels pretty condescending, though.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll give you exactly what you want, but here's a list of warnings. Hope you're ready. You better be ready. I don't walk the same anymore. I'm curious to the Sami Zayn and Braun Strowman feud. I'm sure they'll have a couple of matches or whatever where Sami gets his ass kicked. But do you think that they'll have Sami Zayn deliver the first win over Braun Strowman?
I don't have a good feel for if this is a Braun Ascension storyline. Okay, I don't mean that Braun is joining the Ascension. Or
Totally joining the Ascension.
I mean, I don't have a good feeling yet if this is just a stepping stone feud for Braun, or if this is just a regular feud where it could go either way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a good enough feel for the situation yet, so it's hard to say if Sami's going to get a win or not.
Yeah, because it's one of those things where Sami came out and Braun's like, "Look, I said I wanted actual competition, not these small guys." And so Sami attacks him. Braun hands him his ass, and then he walks off. And Sami's like, "Hey, I'm still standing, bitch." I wish they'd just let him say that. That'd be cool.
I was going to say, he didn't say that.
"Bitch, I ain't going nowhere. Get your ass back down here." So I'm sure Braun will just be like, "All right, fine, I'll fight you." And maybe it ends up in a, you know, heartbreaking win or something. I don't know. Whatever. Man, you want to talk about something that fails? This Paul Heyman Brock Lesnar segment.
They cut the segment on them. They played them out. This is like at an award show when people are getting too long and they just play the fucking music.
It felt awkward.
Because they just played the music and said, "Go fucking come to the back. We're done."
The reason being, they're in Minnesota. Lesnar's, you know, hometown, former hometown, whatever. It's what he's billed from Minneapolis, Minnesota. They're in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Yeah.
And yet they're trying to cut a heel promo on Goldberg. They're trying to get the crowd to chant for Goldberg and do the Goldberg, Goldberg. But instead, they're chanting for Suplex City. So it is not working in Lesnar's, or it's not working in Heyman's favor, which is one of the first times I've ever seen him really rattled.
He got shook.
Yeah, I mean, that shook him hard because, like, he's like, "I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to. This crowd is completely rejecting it. They're chanting Goldberg sucks. They're chanting for Lesnar. They're chanting Suplex City." You know, you could tell there was a little, you know, Suplex City, Goldberg, Suplex City, Goldberg. But, yeah, I mean, the crowd did not care who was supposed to be playing what role. They were cheering for Lesnar. And that was not what they had wanted. That's not what the WWE wanted. And so, yeah, they ended up just cutting it short. I think Heyman realized that it wasn't. And so he went straight to the end where it was like, "Goldberg, this is on you," and drops the mic, and then they play the music and they walk off.
He didn't really. You make it seem like he was like put a punctuation on the end. He was just standing there flabbergasted, and they played the fucking music. He's like, "Oh, I guess we're going to the back then."
Yeah, something along those lines.
It did not seem to be within his control at all. It seemed like he couldn't get the crowd to react the way he wanted to, and Vince just said, "Hit the fucking music. They're coming back." It's over.
And there were reports that McMahon was like pissed off as hell.
Well, it was a miscalculation on their part to assume that he wasn't going to get babyfaced in his hometown.
It's like, let's go to West Newbury, Massachusetts, and get the crowd to boo John Cena. Hey, let's go to San Antonio and get the crowd to boo Shawn Michaels. Yeah, that'll work.
Let's go to Silsby and get them to boo Mark Henry.
I mean, we were in Beaumont and he got fucking booed.
Well, that's because he was playing a heel and he did the right things at least. But although it was also during a match against Randy Orton, so street fight, Silsby street fight, Beaumont street fight, Texas death match street fight, whatever they call it. Triple threat match: Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho, Seth Rollins. Rollins gets the win, and then Jericho lay the beat down on Rollins afterwards. Power bomb onto the apron. Devastating. Any thoughts on that?
Not really.
Cool. So, what are you laughing at?
Cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's skip over SmackDown. We'll come back to that. And play right into the Raw exclusive pay-per-view because we got to hear those picks. We've got to hear those picks. Yeah. Hell in a Cell taking place this Sunday after Lucha Underground in Houston. The kickoff match so far, I think there's only one listed. They might bump another one. Kickoff: Cedric Alexander, Sin Cara, Lince Dorado. Did I say that right? Okay. Going up against Tony Nese, Drew Gulak, and Arya Daivari?
Yes.
I'm so tempted to just say Daivari so I don't mess it up.
You got it.
Cool. So a little cruiserweight action, kicking things off. Good guys versus bad guys. Who do you think's going to win?
I'm gonna say baby faces.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't seem to have any storyline implications or anything. And so I'm just going to go with the babyface for the fuck of it.
Cool. Tyler?
I'm going with the Hills.
Heels. Oh, switching things up.
Yeah, because they always lose.
Huh?
Well, it seemed like they've been losing, like the Hills for the most part.
I feel like Cedric's the most over guy in the match.
Really?
So.
Yeah.
And it could be a nice showcase for Lince and all that. I mean, it's cool that Tony Nese and Drew Gulak are getting on a pay-per-view card. That's pretty cool.
I'm picking them.
So you're going with the bad guys. Doug's going with the good guys. I'm going to go with Doug on this one. Hopefully you and I will get that point.
So good.
Girl, you make me feel so good.
Yeah. So all right. So 2 for Cedric Alexander, Sin Cara, and Lince Dorado. 1 being Tyler, Tony Nese, Drew Gulak, Arya Daivari. So far, there are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matches. Wow. I was not expecting that. Well, 8 if you count the pre-show. So 7 matches on the card. Like I said, one of them might get bumped to the kickoff. So Tyler, we'll let you kick things off. What's going to be the first matchup we talk about? Yeah.
TJ Perkins versus the Brian Kendrick.
Man, you're just jumping way ahead. Excuse me. All right, so cruiserweight title on the line. TJ Perkins versus the Brian Kendrick. Who are you going to go with?
I don't know, man. I don't think TJ is going to lay down.
Yeah? He lays down for no one. Otherwise, it's game over, man.
I don't know what they have plans for, who's next. Or, I mean, I don't know if they are going to keep the title on TJ and what they're going to do with Brian, or I have no premonitions at all.
No clue?
No clue, but I'm just going to go with TJ.
TJ Perkins, all right. Doug?
I am going to go with Brian Kendrick. For some reason, not that I've heard anything or seen any speculation. It just sort of feels like they're maybe not I don't know, just not happy with like how the level to which TJ's gotten over.
Sure.
And I think they're gonna rock the boat and just put it on Kendrick to change stuff up, which I think is a mistake because I think Metalik's on his way in, Tozawa's on his way in, and I think TJ's a better fit to have the type of matches they are advertising.
Mm-hmm.
The style, he's a better fit to have those matches with those guys than Kendrick is. Kendrick's gonna slow it down, which is not a bad thing, but I don't think it's what you want as the champ having these type of matches with everyone else. So I think it's a mistake, but I think they're going to put it on Kendrick.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I think that Brian Kendrick is going to get the win so that if anything, they'll continue the TJ Perkins feud with him.
See, I don't know about that. I think the Swan win was setting up a future challenge.
Yeah. I mean, it sets up for future challengers.
Kendrick versus Swan.
Yeah. I mean,
I think that's the next feud.
I mean, they could have the rematch on Raw the next night.
Sure.
And then, the following Raw, they'll be like, okay, we're going to have a number one contendership match. And however they want to do it, that's how they're going to do it.
Do you think Swan's next?
I could easily see it. He's probably the most over cruiserweight with the crowd right now.
Can you handle this?
No way, Jose. I've been watching NXT. Yeah. So again, Tyler, odd man out.
Points in play.
Points in play. I got to get some points back. That's all I got to say. You're going down this time.
Going bold.
Going bold. All right, Doug. Pick the next matchup we're going to talk about.
Let me get Bailey versus Dana Brooke.
Bailey versus Dana Brooke.
Because I know how to start at the bottom and work my way to the top.
I don't.
That's a man who knows how to run a show, I'll tell you. All right, so Bailey versus Dana Brooke. Last time these two encountered one another, they had an arm wrestling competition, and Bailey was favoring her shoulder. So that could come into play in the matchup.
Yes, it could. But I think it's more of a storyline for the match instead of a indication of where we're going from here. I'm gonna say Bailey wins.
All right, Tyler, how about you?
Same here.
All right, I'm gonna go in agreement. Bailey all around.
No, you're agreeing with Dana Brooke, right?
Hey, if it gets me the point, sure. So
Dana Brooke.
Bailey, yes.
Okay.
Got to be safe on a couple of them. All right, let's talk about Enzo and Kaz going up against Gallows and Anderson.
This I think is interesting.
Yes.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. So Enzo and Kaz have, air quote, the momentum with their victories over Gallows and Anderson. I say victories because you got to remember, Big Cass defeated Anderson. Now Enzo has defeated Anderson. And so now it's Gallows and Anderson against Enzo and Kaz. So how's that going to play into effect?
I really don't know.
Handle this. Can you handle this? Can you
I'm going to go with the club.
Can you handle this?
I'm going with the club
Sandwich.
too. I'm going with the club.
Sandwich.
Club sandwich.
Club sandwich. Yeah.
Triple decker.
I'm going to go.
Enzo and Cass are so over, they don't need wins to be over.
Yeah, they don't need the wins. They've got the momentum, and history has shown that the person has, the momentum, they tend to lose. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Gallows and Anderson. I feel like they're trying to be all serious again or whatever and do their thing. So, Gallows and Anderson, unanimous, our pick to win. Doug, we'll let you pick the next matchup since Tyler is clearly... What?
Pick that last one.
I'm going to go with New Day versus Cesaro and Sheamus.
Okay. So, Raw tag team titles.
How far are they
On
off
the
from...
Not too far. I don't know where they are precisely, but if they win, I think if they get past Survivor Series, they've done it. I think. I don't know.
I'm not sure where they are.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'm going with New Day.
New Day? Yeah. You don't think like some fluke victory, like maybe they take Cesaro and Sheamus lightly, and then one of them like trips over the other and lands on top of the guy, and 1, 2, 3.
No, I'm going New Day.
All right, Tyler.
New Day.
New Day. I'm picking New Day as well. So
It's a new day.
yeah, continue that streak. Now the question is, do they break the demolition streak? I mean, I know we've talked about this a couple times. You think they give it to him? Tyler?
Yes, they can get it. Then who are they fighting next? Then they can drop the titles.
Cool.
Well,
yeah,
we'll see.
Whatever. Let's talk about Roman Reigns versus Rusev for the United States title. One of 3 matches inside Hell in a Cell. One of the triple main events. I feel like they're trying to reestablish Roman Reigns, and
fucking Facebook Messenger finally got me to download that fucking app because it won't let me see my messages otherwise.
Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened, but like my text messages and my
Facebook message
are like intertwined.
Yeah,
Weird.
I don't fucking like that.
I don't like it at all. I'm like, go back.
I don't like that. I don't like the app. I'm gonna delete this shit. But then I can't read my messages. It wouldn't let me. I kept punching it. It's like, do you want to?
Thanks another time.
I was like,
that's bullshit.
Let me see my messages, and I was like, do you want to download Facebook Messenger? I was like, no, fuck you. Let me read my messages. And they're like, how about you download Facebook Messenger?
I think if you go through,
I always use the browser.
Oh wow, okay.
It made me.
Never mind then. I was gonna say, if you're going through the app,
I don't even use the Facebook app.
Oh.
I just use the browser.
Well,
That's
there you go.
Bullshit.
So, anyways, I'm picking Roman Reigns to retain the United States title. Tyler?
I'm with you.
All right, Doug?
Roman Reigns.
All right, so unanimous for that one as well. Fisting going around. Yeah, get it done.
You still have that Roman Reigns fist in your office?
I do. Do you need it?
No, I'm just wondering.
Oh, okay.
I'm just happy to know it's still there.
Yeah.
How did we get that?
You got it.
Hot Topic or something,
Or
wasn't
did
it?
he get? You get
purchased something.
It
and
came with
DVD.
something, didn't it?
DVD, right?
We were at Suncoast and we were buying those
Suncoast.
DVDs, and he's like, "Do you want this?" I was like, "Sure, I'll take that."
The fist of fisting.
You cracked me out because we're all doing it, and then you're like, "Get it done." So you gotta get the fisting done.
Yeah, get it
Get
done.
out of the way.
That's
I mean,
right. No, don't get it out. No, get it out of your system. All right. So now the question is, what's the main event? I feel like they kind of have to give it to the ladies, not because like, we're making history, give it to them, but like,
I think they're going to go with Owens and Rollins.
yeah, that
I think it's a mistake too.
you think
I
Owens
think
and Rollins are closing the show?
Yes, and I think it's a mistake. I think the crowd expects for the women to. They've already said it and tried to backpedal it. Plus, it's Sasha's hometown. I think they're going to make the mistake
true,
of not
too.
putting them on last, and the crowd's going to hijack the show.
I hope they're wise enough and let her go in there last, get that hometown crowd response.
I think they're just stupid enough to not do the right thing.
We'll just go at what we think.
Yeah.
Whatever the order, you know what I mean? You go.
Yeah, pick whatever you want. I'm just saying I think they're going to do the wrong thing.
Kevin Owens versus Sasha Banks.
and Charlotte. So Kevin Owens, let's talk about the Universal title. Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins, Hell in a Cell. Kevin Owens wants to be the man. Seth Rollins is mad at Stephanie McMahon. And now we have a championship match. So that's pretty much the backstory.
I do not want Kevin Owens to drop the title
Yeah.
to Seth Rollins.
You mean Kevin Owens.
So I'm going with Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens to retain, Doug?
Kevin Owens.
I'm going to pick Kevin Owens as well. So unanimous on that one. So far I think we only have 2 matches where we differ. Which takes us into the Hell in a Cell Raw Women's title. Sasha Banks versus Charlotte. Hopefully to close the show because like Doug said, it is in Sasha's hometown, Boston. So we'll go with you, Doug. What do you think? Did they get the upset here, give it to Charlotte again, or did they let Sasha finally get the one up over Charlotte and be the women's champion?
I'm going to say Sasha.
Yeah.
I'm not confident. I'm not 100% confident in that, but I mean, that's my
Wouldn't it be
pick.
crazy if she dropped it and it's like, you know how many times they kind of like,
Yeah, they
Shot
have
back and
gone
forth
back and
between them.
forth.
yeah, I'm with Sasha.
Sasha. All right. I'm going to pick Sasha Banks as well to retain. So that's going to do it for our predictions.
At least
I
we
gotta
got
s-
some differences.
Yeah, there are some
2
differences
matches,
this
though.
time. So
Still.
points up for grabs. Should be pretty interesting. But I do have to say, those were some great picks. Those were some great picks.
Those were some great picks. Dicks.
Stop talking about dicks. Anyway, so SmackDown happened. What is wrong with you guys?
Great picks.
They were great picks, I think.
Grape.
Lemon lime. All kinds of good picks. Also, for those of you who are listening, feel free to drop your predictions in the comments section. You know, it's nice to hear back from our listeners. So let us know what you think. Who's going to be right? Who's going to be wrong? Tyler's in the lead right now. Will it stay that way? We'll find out. I think you are like a point ahead. So if I get the 2 points, I will regain the lead. Or you could take a 3-point lead. So we'll see.
I think we have the same picks. So I can only make ground on Tyler.
Huh?
I think you and I have all the same
Yes.
picks, so I can only move up on Tyler.
Yes. So either way, there will be a point changing here. Should be interesting. SmackDown. They kicked it off. Bray Wyatt going up against Kane. No DQ. As these matches tend to happen, there was some extracurricular activity. Luke Harper made an appearance.
I mean, what activities they do? They like stuff after school. I mean,
Yeah, they helped clean up the announce table.
yeah,
It was a
Also
little messy.
softball.
It was a little messy, so they had to clean that up. But Luke Harper made an appearance. Randy Orton came out, and this is the part that everyone's talking about. Randy Orton comes out, hopefully to help Kane fend off Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper. And no, he ends up RKOing Kane. And later on says, if you can't beat him, join him. And then he stares for a long time.
I bet they're gonna he's gonna try to prove to Bray Wyatt he's gonna be with them.
He's
Then
trying to
later
get
on, He's
close
gonna
and-
turn on him and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doug, what did you think?
I do not care.
That's what we like to
Later
hear.
on, in Talking Smack,
Oh,
did you
God.
see Kane?
I watched Kane.
Yeah.
I only trust 2 people in this world, my brother, the Undertaker, and you, Daniel Bryan. Like, that's a very odd combination.
I love how Daniel Bryan realizes that he's not wrestling anymore, so he can say whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's the worst they could do to him? Fire him, which is what he wants them to do anyway. So he just says whatever the fuck he wants now. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Didn't, like, one time his phone went off or something in the middle of it?
I can't remember.
I want to say he did. But, yeah.
Untouchable.
Talking smack. Becky Lynch returned. Alexa Bliss spoiled that by attacking Becky Lynch and spray painting a yellow stripe down her back, saying, you got no spine. Yellow. Hype Bros went up against Ascension. Guess who won? That's right. Hype Bros. Got to stay hyped.
I don't stay hype.
They didn't just win; they qualify for the
Number one contendership.
175 man traditional Survivor Series
All right.
tag team match.
I
Yeah.
don't get hyped. I stay hyped because I have a condition.
Get that checked out one day. Got to see a talking segment between The Miz and Dolph
Spirit
Ziggler.
Squad. Oh, I thought. Never mind.
What were you saying?
I said Spirit Squad, but
Well, they were there too.
They were there, but it wasn't.
This is the part where Heath was trying to bring up the stuff they bought Puerto Rico, but they cut him off too quickly.
Oh.
Yeah. He's like, God damn it! I had a
Like,
whole
are you
thing-
scared? No.
This is my one time to talk, baby.
Are you scared? No. I'm not scared. I just bought some
Hear
stuff
me
from
out.
Puerto
Hear me
Rico.
out.
Rhino grabs it. You're on. Like, oh man, what was he about to say when he said something about Puerto Rico? I knew it had to
God
be.
damn,
shiny
Rhino!
stuff.
I don't get to talk that much.
Well, Rhino hates male cheerleaders, so
Yeah.
it was definitely gonna kick your ass.
So Kenny and Mikey challenged Slater and Rhino to
Where's
a
Mitch?
tag match. Slater and Rhino ended up defeating Kenny and Mikey to retain their tag titles. Throughout the night, they were talking with Dean Ambrose and James Ellsworth. Ellsworth wanted to be in the corner of Dean Ambrose, and Ambrose said no. Then he noticed he was pouting, so he said okay. Then AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose occurred, and the match ended via disqualification after James Ellsworth delivered the no chin music to
That's
AJ.
what they're calling it.
Yes, they're actually doing that. DLC 2K18, I'm
I
calling
already
it now.
downloaded him as a critic
Really?
character, by the way.
Wow.
I downloaded TJ Perkins, Grand Metalik, Bobby Roode,
Bobby Roode.
Rich Swann, Rhino, somebody else.
All the good guys. Yeah. Cool.
Oh, Tommaso, and
Johnny Gargano.
Johnny Gargano.
Nice. Good
Someone
deal.
spelled his name Tommaso. I thought it was Tommaso. T-A.
Oh, God.
Is it? It's
T-O.
T-O.
Yeah.
A spell like that, or is it T-A?
It's T-O.
Tio.
Oh, okay. They spelled it correctly then.
Yes.
I had it wrong.
You had it wrong, sir.
I don't know how to spell.
Hey, I think you skipped over Nikki Bella defeating
Oh, yeah, that's right. I did. I'm sorry.
Natalia to be the leader,
the captain
of the captain.
of the Survivor
Now
Series.
she's
What the
not
hell
in
of
the
an
match.
STF she put on her?
No kidding.
Put Cena to shame with that STF.
I saw a picture earlier. It was like Nikki's STF looks like it hurts Natalia. John Cena's STF makes it look like it hurts John Cena. And it's sitting there with him going, ah! Like his mouth is wide open. But yeah, that was impressive. And I was just thinking about that when I was watching that match. I was like, Nikki Bella has come quite a ways in her in-ring. She's
a lot better than most people give her credit for.
Yeah, she's she's gotten in the ring. She's dedicated. She's actually make it look like she's trying in the ring. So good stuff.
So no chin music, right?
No chin music. Yeah. So I didn't watch Total Bellas because why would I?
Because you need to.
Doug unfortunately was unable to.
I wasn't able to, but
Tyler,
I intended to.
Tyler over here, that's your man. So let's hear it for Tyler.
Yay.
So tell us about it. Or tell
Okay.
Doug, because I'm going to go get some water while
Oh, come
you talk
on.
about
You're
that.
going to
No, I
leave?
don't care.
Okay, me and him will talk about the important stuff.
Okay. I'm
Okay.
gonna move to your mic.
So this week, they are focusing on
Sit in that chair.
two big storylines. One is JJ and his mother. JJ works for his mother at the company she created called
What's his position?
I forgot his position, but he does other stuff, but he also is a gopher for her too.
Like
But
a
that's not
personal
what-
assistant type?
Yeah, personal assistant, but he does something else. Don't know what. I don't know if he's okay. I take the back. I don't know if he does certain things for her, but he doesn't do everything. And she wants him to do everything for her. Hey, go get this.
What's
go
the
get that.
business again? JBN. What I mean, like, what do they do? What
I
is
don't know.
it?
They did not say. Did not say what it is.
If you had to guess,
Shoot, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you one bit.
let's speculate on what JBN is as abbreviation for.
Oh, I know what it's abbreviation for.
Oh, let me guess then.
Okay.
Jelly beans. Be naughty. I don't know. I don't know. Tell me what it means.
JJ, Bree, and Nikki.
Oh, that would make sense. Is he the oldest? I thought he was the youngest.
He's 30.
Do you think? Are they 30?
The Bellas?
Mm-hmm.
I thought they're past their 30s, right?
I thought they were in their early 30s. So, do you think that's the order? If you had to guess, do you think that's the order that she favors them in? Do you think he's the favorite? Do you think Nikki's the least favorite?
Oh,
What is your if you had to put your Bella siblings in order from favorite to least favorite? What would you put?
I'll go that way.
Here we go. JJ, Bree, Nikki.
Yeah.
The Bella
think-
twins are 32.
Good job. Our personal assistant. Right on that.
Yeah.
I would go the opposite. I'm gonna go Nikki, Bree, JJ.
They don't really show too much
far
of
as your
him, but
favorite.
I don't dislike the guy. I don't know him as much as we know the Bellas, to be honest with you.
He seems a little lame.
He's not really exciting. But
Was
I don't have a
his
problem with him.
wife on the show yet?
I haven't seen her.
How much Big Johnny did we get?
More than last week.
More than last week.
Just because he was there at different times when JJ was pissed off at his mom and he snapped at her and stuff like that. But I think it was
He being
JJ. Okay. JJ was just
like Johnny snapping.
he was also contemplating starting to wrestle because he wanted to do something
Oh, I
different.
remember from the previews,
Talking
he was
to
like,
John.
he was telling Cena to like, hey, can you put in a good word for me at NXT?
Yeah. All he said was, I can get you to the front door and let you in. That's about it.
So did he try?
No, he didn't. I mean, he did go to NXT, but that was part of the other storyline.
What did he do at NXT? Why was he there?
Well, Nikki and Daniel Bryan were together for a while because Brie was on the road and stuff like there, and she was trying to convince him, like, you have a good wrestling mind. Maybe it'd be good for you to be like a coach or something. He's like, I don't know about that, and she convinced him to go to NXT or the Performance Center, I should say. And they went down there, and JJ was with him. So
They show anybody at the Performance Center?
yeah, they talked to Sammy for a while.
That's cool.
And it was cool, but also sad because I think you'll enjoy this part. He was saying, because he got into all the wrestling stuff, and like he was just talking to Sammy about different. He was about to come up with another moveset before it wouldn't. So it wouldn't bump too much or something like that, or it wouldn't affect his neck. Changing his style. And it was the funniest thing, and he was legit about it too. He kind of looked like an animal, like on fours, like when he would like get pushed. You have to see it. It is the funniest thing
I'm gonna
ever.
watch it. I just didn't get a chance to.
Yeah, and he was getting into it, and he would look like a little like animal, like he was like on his like knees and his arms and stuff like that. And he goes, I was actually gonna prepare this set to moves and stuff against Brock, he said. So it was cool to see though.
That's cool.
But also sad because when he stopped talking, he goes, and then he got back into now I won't be able to do this and stuff, and so it was sad. And that was pretty much the other part of the episode. Daniel Bryan dealing with that. So because Brie is trying to finish up her stuff around WrestleMania, whatever, so she can retire. So Daniel was with Nikki. And he's still bummed out, because he doesn't know what he wants to do, because as we know, that's all he wants to do is just wrestle.
Right.
He doesn't feel like he'll be a good trainer or whatever. He just wants to wrestle. And in the other storyline, the mom gave JJ some more percentage of the company or something like that.
He's a part owner?
I guess now he is, or it was a little more stock. I don't know.
5 stock.
5 stock.
Maybe he loaned her money to get through this set of tapings. And so now he owns a portion of the company. I don't know.
That's about it. That's just, it was longer than what I said, but pretty much all that in one. It was cool to see Sami Zayn and Daniel Bryan talking. They were acting goofy. You didn't really see John too much. John Cena. What else? Yeah, that's about it.
Word.
Cool.
Word to your mother.
All right. Well, thanks, Tyler. That takes us into the hot topics for the week.
Hot Pockets.
Hot Pockets. I could go for a Hot Pocket. Undertaker.
What kind?
Pepperoni and cheese.
That's my dog.
Yeah.
Give me some dap.
Undertaker appeared at the Cleveland Cavaliers game yesterday or Monday or whatever day it was. So
Someday.
lost my days. Yeah. He appeared, and it was cool. So,
That was cool. Yeah, you were there.
He was there to say congratulations to the Cavs for winning the sports championship of the world.
Is he on crutches?
No, it was not.
That was fake.
He was no. They confirmed that he had hip surgery, so that was probably why he was walking around with those. But he was in full attire, like ring attire, whenever he made the appearance. So interesting stuff. More interesting with what's going on with this lawsuit, Billy Corgan and Dixie Carter, it has begun. I don't know, Doug, do you have any details?
Well, there is like a lot of shit that's come out today.
There's a lot of things happening today.
And honestly, just because of work, I don't feel like I have the greatest grasp on the situation other than TNA is an even bigger piece of shit company than you ever thought they were. And you already thought they were a big pile of shit.
Was there another company that came out and said they owe us money too? There's another one.
There are several.
Yeah, there was a new one that came out. Bank Direct Capital, they filed a lawsuit against TNA for $207,000.
The gist of my understanding of the lawsuit and the things that have happened today is that when Billy loaned the money, he was saying that he was not made aware of the absolute depths of financial trouble they were in. Like, he was not clued in on to just how bad off they were when he loaned the money.
Shit.
And not only that, but when he became a creditor, when they failed to pay him back, and then they gave him the title of president to, like, he was not allowed to act as a president. And so in ways such as, like, when WWE, there was a discussion between Dixie and WWE about the company, he was lied to about it and not known about.
God damn.
Because my understanding is part of the deal is that if she defaults on the loan, I guess he gets her stake of the company, which is like 92%. He basically would own what she owns, which is like almost all of it.
But then he would have to pay it back.
Well, he would be responsible for all the stuff that they are.
The debt.
Yeah, the debt.
Fuck.
But basically, like, he filed the restraining order to where they can't sell to anybody else. They can't sell off assets like the library or anything until this matter is taken care of. So they can't be sold until this lawsuit is settled. And it's just wild. Like, they are in debt to more places than originally thought, which there were already 3 or 4 that were known. They owe more people money than that.
It was like 7 or 10.
There's a lot. No one's getting paid. It's just bad news. It just makes them sound completely and totally inept. And anyone who ever, like, defended them just sounds like a dumbass at this point.
What are they? They're not doing any tapings.
They were supposed to tape from the Hardy compound in the early November, the first couple of days of November, which would be, I guess, next week. But that's pushed back because they don't have the money.
Yeah.
And they can't, like, I assume part of the deal is that they can't also, like, ask for more credit from other people. I assume they can't.
They probably don't
So
have any
these
credit
people,
left.
Well, people keep bailing them out. Like,
Yeah.
that's what the thing is.
these wrestlers are wrestlers that have specifically contracts with TNA. They're in limbo right now, and they're not doing anything.
Well, supposedly some of them are going to declare themselves free agents from not being paid. Like,
Failure to pay.
yeah, like they're not
You
getting
owe
paid,
us,
so they're.
You owe us this much money. If you just let us get out of our contract,
remember
we'll
who?
drop it. And
Not really, but, like, supposedly the Fight Network, which is the people who already own rights to they've already sold the rights to some of the library, have offered to buy out Corgan to make him go away, which is insane to me. With I guess the hope that they would just sell to them or sell the library. I don't know. It's a lot of, like, how could any of this even happen?
I don't even know who the fuck wants to buy this shit after this, and with all the debts that this company has. What? Oh, don't worry, we'll pick up your debt.
I would think that investors would stay as far away as possible from TNA right now.
Well, the fucked up thing is the Fight Network is trying to buy Corgan, like, pay Corgan his money back to get him to walk away and shut up. But he's got a lot of pride and he's a little pissed off from the way they did him.
Well, sure,
so it's like
him in the dark.
Yeah, well, I mean, supposedly this is not, from the way people make it sound, this is not a thing where he's just gonna take his money back and walk away. He's sort of like a little pissed off and is gonna operate on principle.
You brought me in thinking that it wasn't that bad.
He wants that fucking company.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but he does.
You brought me on board this ship telling me, oh, there's a couple of holes. Well, turns out we've got a gash the size that sank the Titanic.
What would be
he says their estimate is they owe 10 times what they're worth. Like they're in debt 10 times what they're actually worth.
Okay. So what would be better for Billy? Because I know he wants his own wrestling organization.
Cut his losses and start fresh.
Yeah, start new. How about that, right?
That's what everyone says. I don't know. It might just be a principle thing for him, and he's got the money to. I mean, we don't know everything. He could have someone lined up to give him a different deal, like a different TV deal, if they rebranded. Mm-hmm. So we don't know everything, but
and there was also the talk that like Dixie Carter was talking to the WWE behind Corgan's back, and
I said that.
Huh?
I said that. Did I not say that?
I thought you did.
Oh. Yeah. It's just, I mean, my God.
Fucking nuts, man.
Yeah.
Knuckin' futs.
But I mean, it's crazy. This whole year in the wrestling world has just been a roller coaster.
I wonder if any of those people that are on the roster, I wonder if there's other outlets or they're trying to interview them to try and get the scoop, because I bet none of them want to.
Well, I'm sure everyone's reaching out and they're
saying,
oh no, everything's good.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Jeremy Borash.
Yeah. But for something to divert away from the bad, something cool was announced. WWN Live announced their partnership with Flow Slam.
Well, it's Flow Sports, but I think they're branding the wrestling arm of Flow Sports Flow Slam. It's going to be like the branding of that.
Yeah. I don't have too many details on that. Doug, you were the one who introduced me into that. Also, WWE has become an investor into this.
Yes.
Brand.
So the whole Flow Slam is flowsports.tv. Their whole thing is they do sort of online streaming of sort of niche products. Like they have amateur wrestling, they have like track and field stuff, they have like marching band stuff, they have all kinds of weird stuff that
polo
that like traditional media doesn't service the people that are looking to, and so
stuff you'd see on ESPN 8.
So this Jeremy Botter dude who I guess worked for them, it was like, why don't we do like an independent wrestling thing? And they were like, okay, well, we'll see, like write up a proposal, and he did, and so they're moving forward with it. And the idea is that they're going to not just independent companies, but international companies. We're talking Japan, we're talking Europe, I assume Mexico as well as some of your bigger name American independents, and for all I know, some smaller ones as well. They're basically trying to do a streaming service for multiple independent and internationals. The first sign up, which was WWN Live, which is Evolve, Shine, FIP, that branch, all those people that fall under that branch, which is one of the premier American independents they could get, but also an interesting thing because of their working relationship with the WWE up to this point, which, like, as you mentioned, apparently WWE did invest in this company, but it was before they announced that they were. See, I was a little skeptical on what I was trying to get a feel for, like what the actual relationship between WWE and them are, but WWE did invest in them, but it was before that they announced that they were going to be streaming independent wrestling. And it's even weirder now that they've got WWN under the umbrella because of WWE's working relationship with WWN. So it's weird, and no one really knows how this plays out or where they really stand, because
that sounds to me like a business tactic. Like, before you make all these big announcements, buy stock in something when it's really low. Then you make the announcement, stock automatically starts going up because your name is attached to it.
Yeah, but in a very real way, it can compete with the. I mean, okay, I don't want to say in a real way, because I don't think to me, this is big news to me. This is a big deal to me, but I don't think that it's a. To me,
casual wrestling.
To me, it's a huge story. To most people, it may not be. They may not even care. But it's weird because I don't know how WWE feels about this. I'm not sure if it's like an extension of them, like to where they basically are going to get these companies under their umbrella, but at like an arm's length type thing, to where they don't
let you do your thing, but
yeah, but
you know who's in charge.
There's also a lot of talk that the money that this is going to give to these independent companies is going to drive up the bidding for independent talent. These people are going to have more money to offer guys to stay around longer.
Yeah.
And guys like Meltzer specifically mentioned, like your Adam Coles, your Kyle O'Reillys, your Young Bucks, people that are rumored to have been going to NXT after finishing up this year. This injection into those could make it more profitable for them to stay where they are. Like, these companies have more money to offer them coming off this service.
Has there been an announcement as to when the services begin?
The first one's in November with Shine, whatever the newest Shine is. They started putting up Evolve stuff already, and supposedly by January 1st, they're supposed to have put the back catalog of Evolve up. So just for like monetary, it's like $20 a month. For the service, and I believe that if you pay for the whole year up front, like you go ahead and order a year, I think it's $150, so you save a little bit of money. I think it ends up being like $12.
This will be something like on your computer, or can you get it like on consoles? Or
well, they have a Roku and an Apple and an Apple TV app, but I mean that requires internet access.
You have Chrome.
I have Chromecast.
Well, I mean, I think
I want to look into that.
You might need a Roku or an Apple TV.
Okay.
But basically what it is for people like me who have an interest in this type of product and who try to follow this type of product, is a huge money saver, and it basically it has the ability to put a lot of stuff that you have to go to a bunch of different places for in the same place for a lot cheaper. Because if you're looking at spending like $20 to watch one of these shows, well, you're spending $20 a month to watch everyone that they gather. And supposedly they're in talks with a bunch of places, and like imminently announcements are going to start forthcoming with like who is going to be under this umbrella. So
it's pretty cool.
It's a big deal. I mean, I don't know. No one's announced other than WWE Live at this point. And supposedly the type of people they're talking to is supposedly surprising. So it may be like your Ring of Honor is even all on this. So I don't know, but it's just weird because I don't know how WWE factors into all this. I can't get a good feel for if this was a company they invested in and didn't realize this was coming and it's going to be a competition, because they sent out that survey saying like, would you pay $14.99 if we offered you like some more independent companies? And there was all that talk of a tiered network system, and then this happens, and it's like, well, did they get beat to the punch, or did they hear that it was coming and try to rush something out and they couldn't get it done in time? It's really odd. I don't know if this is like, well, they invested in this company because they expected this, and this lets them have, say, if this business goes under, then they have like first right to all these libraries, and they're playing it like they're playing the long game. Or were they surprised? I can't get a good feel on if if WWE is happy about this or not.
This is all craziness, man.
It's weird. It's really fucking weird. I don't know that it's for people like me. It's convenient and cheaper for this to happen if the service is good. If the streaming quality is good enough and they don't fuck around and they get these shows up, it's a big plus. But I don't know if it's a good thing to have one company control so much, like such a large percentage of like wrestling.
Become a monopoly.
Yeah, I mean WWE is already sort of. I mean, we've seen with WWE how all the libraries they've acquired, they rewrote history on. Like they control how people view those in hindsight. So I don't know. I don't know if it's a good thing or it's a bad thing. I know it's a convenient thing. I know it's a money saver. I don't know how many people are interested. I know I'm interested. It's something that I'm watching really closely, so I don't know. I don't know how many other people of our audience are
weigh in on that.
Yeah,
Let us know. Let us know if you're interested in that kind of stuff. Checking out all the other companies around the world. One other thing, I don't know if you guys saw the video or not, but I sure as heck did.
I did not.
I read about it. But I didn't watch the video.
Apparently there was a Total Bellas Q&A or something.
Is it a comic convention?
More than like it seemed like it. It had John Cena, the Bella Twins, and Daniel Bryan. I didn't see the whole thing. I just saw the little minute and a half clip that everyone is talking about. There's a little kid asking this question. The final question is, "Hey, John Cena, what kind of food do you like to eat?" And John Cena clarified, "Oh, that question is for me. What kind of food do I like to eat?" And he goes, "Well, if I had Nicole stand up, I couldn't show you." And he said, "Don't worry, little kid. In like 15 years, you're going to get that joke, and it's going to be funny." And everyone at the table, the Bella Twins, Daniel Bryan, they were all laughing. All of the adults in the crowd got the joke, and they begun laughing.
Mm-hmm.
And then Daniel Bryan said, "Yeah, I would have said the same thing." Then Nikki got a little flustered and said, "He likes steak and vegetables." And he said, "Oh, yeah, that's it." So if you haven't seen the video, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com. Check it out if you're into that kind of humor.
Pussy.
Yes. Thank you, Tyler. So no Q&A for us this week. But if you have any questions for us, feel free to leave it in the comment section on our YouTube channel, WNS Video, also our Facebook page, WNS Podcast. Check us out on WrestlingNewsSource.com, WrestlingNewsSource.com on Facebook, and subscribe to our show on iTunes by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast.
You can follow us on Stitcher, Beyond Pod, Player.fm, Satchel. Just search Wrestling News Source Podcast to find us.
We're on Twitter at WNS Podcast. Daniel's at WNS_Daniel. Tyler's at Tyler_Aber.
There you go. That's going to do it for us this week for the podcast crew. I am Daniel Herron.
I'm Tyler Hebert.
I'm Doug.
And we will catch you all next week.
Pussy.